Hello my strong friends. In today's video I am going to answer some of your questions. Thank you for submitting them on Instagram. If you're new here, then you must be here because I chose a very interesting thumbnail and title. But subscribe to my channel anyway, especially if you're going to watch this and learn more about me. Okay, let's get into the questions. All right, the first question is how often and how far have you been running? If you didn't know on YouTube, because I have not shared this on YouTube yet, but on Instagram, I've been running a ton. Okay, not a ton, but I have a habit of running now. And I basically run most weekdays in the morning. I run an entire mile. It's not very long. It's definitely not fast, but it has been helpful in kind of kickstarting my day with some movement. It's helped me feel good. It's nice to get out of breath, but it's been awful weather in Texas this past week, so I haven't been able to run, so I'm looking for something else to do while it continues to get colder. It's not only cold, but it's also raining a lot, and I don't love it that much. I do not plan on entering in any kind of races or 5Ks or anything like that. I am just doing it for the sake of it. I'm doing it for a little bit of fun, a little bit of wellness, and to feel something, basically. Someone asked, do you say y'all now that you're Texan? This is kind of interesting because I'm from Ohio, and in Ohio we say y'all. Like, I don't know, maybe just from when I was younger, I feel like y'all is a slang. Like, rappers don't say you all, right? They say y'all, right? Or am I imagining that? So I feel like always growing up, I always said y'all, maybe just trying to be cool. But in Ohio, geography lesson, Ohio is very close to Kentucky, and in Kentucky they speak a certain kind of way, so I think that just comes up north. And if you're from that area, then you know, like, Florence y'all, the Florence y'all sign. So yes, I feel like I say it more frequently. At least I didn't really say it when I was in New York, but I don't know, I didn't really think too much about it. Y'all. Do I say y'all on YouTube ever? I don't know. Who do you want to be remembered as? I think this is an interesting question because I'm sure someone else would have a really great answer, but I haven't thought that much about it, and honestly, I don't really care. Like, if I died and people didn't remember me like 100 years from now, I don't think I'd be too upset. At least I don't feel that way right now. Also, I'd be dead, so there's that. Yeah, I'm more so concerned with my reputation in a professional sense as it is now while I'm living, whereas when I'm dead, like when people are remembering me as someone, I don't really care. Is that bad? One value that's really important to me is work. I want to be hardworking. It's an important value to me. That could just be the American in me, but that's like the one value that I want. Does that make sense? That's like the one value that I think is most important to me. So maybe I want to be remembered as hardworking, maybe funny. I don't know. What is your biggest accomplishment, personal or business? My biggest accomplishment is my relationship with my partner, Ryan. I've never had an amazing relationship before in my life, so it's really nice that the person that I chose to be with forever is my best relationship. I guess that's how it should be. So I'm most proud of that relationship on a personal side. And then business, there are a couple things I'm proud of, but the one thing that really sticks out to me, and I guess this isn't completely a business accomplishment, but when I paid off my student loans and got out of debt completely, that was a huge accomplishment for me. And that was a huge turning point in my life and a huge turning point for my finances. So I think I was 26, I'm 32 now. I was 26 when I paid off all of my student loans, or my last student loan. And I just did it by working multiple jobs over time. And I worked more jobs than one with the goal of paying off my student loans, and it took me a few years to do it, but I did it. I graduated college with $60,000 in undergrad student loans and paid them off. Thank God. I know a lot of people who are around my age and still haven't yet paid off their student loans. I just wanted to get rid of them because they gave me anxiety. Someone asked, do you ever wish you could turn off social media and just have a gym with members and classes to make money? Sometimes I wish I could turn off social media, yes, but I do enjoy my job generally, and the best part about my job is that I'm able to talk to a lot of people and hopefully point many people in the right direction. I think it's great to train clients one-on-one. You get a deep connection with someone and you can see one person really change their lives. But as I see the fitness space as a whole and the wellness industry as a whole, there are so many misconceptions and things that aren't very clear on a kind of broad level. And I think my time is best spent trying to make videos on YouTube and make content on Instagram that helps clear things up and point people in the right direction so that they can hopefully see a personal trainer or join a program and start to get more attention and more of what they need. I do make money online, obviously, and I have businesses that are able to support other people and other people's livelihoods now, which is great. And we're all really focus on getting a barbell in every woman's hands. So that is the goal, to get more people excited about strength training. Yeah, so no, not really, because I know that I'm best serving how I would like the landscape to change with what I'm doing now. It's not really a money conversation, but sometimes for sure, I wish I could just like delete my social media profiles. Sometimes I get so frustrated and anxious about them, but it's not enough to really make me want to do it, and it's not enough to abandon my kind of mission as a whole to just quit. At least not yet. Does high stress or anxiety affect your training or weight management? Generally speaking, yes. If you have a very high stress job or high stress life or struggle with anxiety, that will be a factor among many other factors that will affect weight loss, fat loss, building muscle, performance, all of those progress indicators that we talk about a lot on the channel. So me personally, I find that stress sometimes decreases my appetite, which then makes it harder to build muscle. And some people might experience the opposite. Maybe stress makes it so that you want to eat more, or you give into cravings. There's so many different ways that stress can affect your goals. So when you're starting to set your goals and looking at what's working and what's not working, consider stress. If you're on a training program and you're not getting stronger, but everything else is in check, like your sleep, your nutrition, your training program, stress is probably the one that you want to look at. When did you know you were ready to transition to your business full time? So in 2016 or 2017, that's when I quit my full-time job, but I didn't quit my full-time job until I was making that same amount of money. I was matching my salary with everything else that I was doing. So that included YouTube ad revenue, some sponsorships, that included coaching clients one-on-one. I think those were the only revenue streams. Oh, and selling some merch. So until all of those things were able to pay me a salary kind of that matched what I was getting paid at my job, I kept that job until I was able to match the salary. So it was nice because I got to kind of make double, not really, but I also saved a lot of that money knowing that I wouldn't have the full-time job to kind of fall back on and the salary that was more reliable than my online businesses. What helps you motivate yourself to get to the gym every day? I'm in a rut. Super common thing to get in a rut and just honestly not want to go to the gym, especially now in 2020. Everyone's schedules have been just non-existent. A lot of people rely on their habits that they already do, things like going to work or getting dressed in the morning or drinking coffee. It's easier to stack one healthy habit or habit that you want to incorporate into your life on top of something that you already have to do, like going to work. You go to work, after work you go to the gym, or you go to the gym before work. So now that a lot of us are transitioning or have transitioned to working from home, we lose our forced schedule that makes it easier to stack some of those habits that we wish we were doing. So my suggestion would be to try and schedule in your gym time, even if that means signing up for a class, having some accountability to other people, even if it's a financial accountability thing where you know, okay, I paid 15, 20 bucks for this class, I better show up. And also trying to schedule with friends and family if you can get them in the gym. I know for me, it's been a lot easier to work out and make sure that I get my workouts in because I'm meeting up with my family and they depend on me to be there to open up the gym. It's just been kind of a mindless part of my week. I don't even think about it. Just on those days that we train, I go and train. All right, how big is your business team? Who does marketing, editing, design, etc.? Okay, good question. I've never really talked about this. I've introduced members of our team here and there, but let me try to give you a map of who's who and what the hell they do in my companies. Because it's funny that you say, who does marketing, editing, design, etc.? Well, essentially, most of the outward facing materials are kind of my responsibility, but things mesh and mix, and a lot of people, because we're such a small team, a lot of people have their hands in everything. So we have a pretty small team. Myself and Ryan, we are the owners of Strong Friends, and we own that business. We also own another business, Strong Supply, and we have a third partner with that business named Eric. So there are two businesses. Our full-time employee is named Ivy, and Ivy runs a lot on the marketing side. So she coordinates with me, she coordinates with Ryan to get approvals on kind of everything that is outward facing. Luckily, she's been working with us for a while now. So she does things like helps with the, and runs the Strong Friends Instagram account, the Strong Supply Instagram account, and she answers a lot of those questions, whether it be customer service or marketing questions, people asking when new products are coming out, or asking questions about our programs on the Strong Friends side. She does a lot more too. She helps with anytime we have a course coming out, Ivy will kind of take all of my writing, all of our photos that we have taken, and she'll kind of put everything together. So it's nice because she will kind of take on any task, and she's not afraid to take on any task because we all realize that we have a small team and everyone has to, you know, do their part plus. For instance, I'm the owner of these companies, but anytime there's a photo shoot, even if I'm the model, I will vacuum the floors most of the time. So there's no job too big or small for anyone on the team. That's Ivy. She kind of is a jack of all trades. She does a lot of writing. She does a lot of putting pieces together. She does a lot of coordinating products. She does a lot. There's Ivy, and then there's Jolie. Jolie helps with editing YouTube videos. She also helps creating graphics. She's getting more and more involved in some of the other facets of the business. And then there's Diana. Diana's on the Strong Supply side, and Diana is our customer service and support person. She helps fulfill all of the orders for Strong Supply. It's nice because we get to see her every once in a while at the warehouse. That's Diana and Jolie and Ivy, and those are the people who are on the payroll. Now, with that, you ask like about marketing, editing, and design. Those are the cool things that we do, especially because we're a social media business. A lot of the things that consumers see are outward facing, and I'm responsible for a lot of that, and I'm responsible, and usually I have the visual vision to kind of put things forward, and I try my best to lead every project with sort of our mission, of course, and thinking about like, what's the goal with this, and what do we want to portray to people, and what do we want to say? Because I think we have a lot of interesting things to say, at least I do. Most of the things that you see, I somehow have a hand in. However, when you reveal the curtain, there are like millions of other little things that go on to a business. We have a couple different consultants that we work with, consultant team that runs the website, makes sure the Strong Friends website is up and running. That is where we host our membership site, so it's password protected. And when you have members, it's imperative that they always have access to the site. So they take care of that, and we coordinate, mostly Ryan coordinates that project and make sure that that everything is updated. Obviously, we update the program weekly, so Ryan makes sure that all of that is updated. Ryan also does a ton of the programming, so Ryan and I will collaborate on programming a bit, but he is responsible for the progression for the most part. He's been my coach for forever, and I trust him, and I mean, obviously I trust him, and he's responsible for a lot of my strength. So Ryan runs the programming as well. And Ryan also makes sure that a lot of things are good on the back end. So he will run our finances each month, and I mean, he usually updates them very frequently. And of course, we pay an accountant that's amazing to meet with us on both companies to ensure that our finances are in order. We just brought on a consulting firm for doing some social media advertisements. So doing some Facebook ads and Instagram ads, which are brand new to me. I know I'm like a social media person, but that whole world is something that is way over my head. I'm only used to creating content and getting attention on my businesses for organic content, like creating videos that people are actually interested in, and then they find out about it. So that's what my specialty is. I have no idea how to work freaking Facebook ads, not a clue. So we always bring people in who are experts and help with that. We have a photographer who's the consultant that we use often. He's in LA. His name is Grid. Check Grid out if you haven't like seen him. If you need a photographer, check Grid out because he's amazing. And I think that's it. I hope I'm not forgetting anyone. Oh yes, I am. I'm forgetting one of the most important people. Aista. Aista is, who's been on my channel before, Aista is our main customer service support person for Strong Friends. So since we have a monthly recurring membership program and there are thousands of members in Stronger by the Day, she's there to help with any kind of issues that they may experience navigating the site or any questions that they might have. She will help cancel, sign up, help point them in the right direction if they're looking for more support or another service that we offer. She handles all of that customer service stuff, and she does an amazing job at it too, which that's a super hard job, managing customer support for an online business where, you know, when you're helping someone with training programs, there are always a ton of questions that people have. And she helps manage FAQ documents so that people always have the information that they need. And if they ever have training questions, she will point them in my direction. And yeah, I am going to forget 1,000 things that each person does, but we have a pretty small team. So Megan, Ryan, Julie, Ivy, Diana, Eric, Aista. So that's 7 people to run 2 different companies, and it's super small. And I tried to give a description of what everyone does, but everyone has their hands in like multiple different buckets. If you're someone who ever works for a small business or is interested in working for a small business, you kind of have to leave any kind of like ego at the door and realize that you know, if you want to be a part of the team, you're gonna have to do things that you're unqualified for or overqualified for. And that's kind of the name of the game. And I'm really thankful that we've been able to build a team that, you know, understands that and kind of embraces it, because we're all learning together. And many of the people that I mentioned, we are starting a new business soon. So that will be revealed in a few weeks in November. And I feel so lucky, and I feel so much more prepared because I have a team and people that I can trust, and I know that they'll do their job and do their job well. And if we ever make mistakes, it's okay. We just learn and kind of move forward from there. So luckily we've been able to make a ton of mistakes with the other 2 businesses. So this next one that we're launching very soon, you know, we're just all approaching it with a more educated and experienced perspective, which is awesome. Okay, geez, did I just bore you to death? I hope not. Talk about money management in a non-marriage relationship where you're living together. I'm not the best person to answer this because Ryan and I have several legal commitments. So we own 2 businesses together, and we also own a house together. So, you know, the way we do it is we both have our own personal bank accounts and bank credit cards, and then we have one joint credit card and one joint, what is that called? checking account. So we kind of contribute equal amounts to that joint account from our personal accounts each month, or we'll kind of do it once a quarter to kind of get a lump sum in there. We have enough saved, and that's where our mortgage comes out of. We are on the same health insurance plan, so our health insurance comes out of that, and any kind of shared expense will go on the joint credit card. That's how we do it. It is, you know, a serious thing to consider, but if you're living with someone and not exactly sure that you're gonna get married, or, you know, you're not legally bound by businesses and house purchases, then maybe you want to suggest just pulling money in something, or divvying up responsibilities and Venmoing each other, or transferring money, or switching months where you pay, or something like that. Yeah, I know I had a friend who I lived with, her and her then boyfriend. They ended up getting married, but they lived together, and they used to split up things in different ways. Tracy would be responsible for grocery shopping, and she would pay for groceries, and then Bryce would pay for going out to eat, and it kind of just came out in the wash. At least that's the way they viewed it. So that could be an interesting way. I don't know, I'm probably not the best person to answer this. Last question, someone asks, are you an introvert or extrovert? How many friends do you have? I don't have a ton of friends. I have a few friends, and I don't know if I recommend doing this, but a lot of the friends that I do have ended up working with me in some capacity. So Eric, for instance, I run Strong Supply with him, and then Isa is a great friend of mine, was a friend before she worked with in our company. But does that show you like anything about me? Is that like my friends, I kind of needed them to work with me in order to be able to spend time with them. So going into business with friends can be complicated, but it's also really great to, I don't know, it's cool to have fun and like work with people that you like. There's definitely been some struggles, but you know, it all works out. I mean, for me, it has, at least. I've definitely made the sacrifice of having many friends and like keeping up with friends. I've sacrificed that for working a lot of times and most of the time. But luckily I've lived in cities for most of my professional life where people get it. I mean, they understand that typically your career comes first over most relationships. So I've kind of grown up and accepted that culture, which I'm okay with because I love to work, and luckily I have a really cool job where I get to connect with so many people. So the question whether or not I'm an introvert or extrovert, I've always thought that I was an extrovert, but I'm realizing as I get older, when I'm in a group of people, and so we just did a big photo shoot for the new business that I have launching in a few weeks, and it was amazing. It was unbelievable, a great time, but I was exhausted and still am exhausted from just being around so many people. And of course I'm working and coordinating things and kind of worried about how everything's gonna turn out to some extent. But yeah, I think that kind of shows me I may not be as extrovert as I once thought I was. I'm really great in small groups, but I'm not great with small talk, really. There's some conversations that I find super boring, especially one-on-one. I like having more people around so that you can kind of bounce off of each other and have interesting conversations like that. Okay, I'm not sure if I just exposed myself, but hopefully you guys enjoyed getting to know me a little bit. I know I talked a lot about business, which is kind of fitting because we are coming out with a new business, a brand new business venture. It's nothing we've ever done before, but it is super exciting, and I think you are all gonna love it, and I can't wait to reveal it and launch it and see what you think. So stay tuned for more videos and more updates on that. Also, sadly, I've had to move my rubber plant, which was so lush and beautiful. I've had to move it downstairs because it was dying there, but I need a new plant because this fiddle leaf is on its last few leaves. It is so sad. All right, well, I'll see you guys in the next video. If you're not already subscribed and you watch this, subscribe because you already know so much about me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.